did it! We did it! How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good.
Would you have breakfast this morning yet?
I did not.
No breakfast. All right. Cool. Well, should we just get right into...
Yeah.
What happened last time?
Go through the wormhole back in time.
So, last time, we added this button, this test selection button, so that when we select an area of dots, we can click this and... Uh-oh. Yeah, and then it will tell us if it worked or not.
Yeah.
Currently it doesn't
So
do much, but...
it tells us that it worked. It basically saves the data out to a file and using JSON, which is a human readable format. We can go look at that file. As I recall, it was out in app data, I think. Which I think I can get to if I type in app data in percents right here. Like that. And then I can get into, what is it? There's one of them. What is that? That's the older. And stock trader. There we go. Test file 2. That's also older. It's in test cases. Oh.
Sorry, can I...
Double click test cases. Oh, sorry, you want to get that down? Okay. Test 3, that looks like it's today. Yeah, 16th, right there. Mm-hmm. So that one, we double click that, represents the data that you selected.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. We created a test folder. Look at all that data in there. That sweet, sweet data. Maybe we can make some actionable decisions on that. We created, let's look at our Solution Explorer. And we have 3 projects. We have a core project, a test project, and a stock analysis project. Can you describe a little bit about what you remember about these?
Yes, so the tests, this is just where we keep our test cases, and yeah. And then the bot trader core, that's where we keep the important stuff, such as the, custom tick, I believe.
Go ahead and open it up and see what's inside it. Yeah.
Yeah, chart translator, custom tick.
Folders class is in there. That just holds names of folders, I think.
Yeah. So
and then an extension method, and we got point XY in there and stock data point.
Yeah. So this is like the essentials that we use in stock analysis.
Right. So the core's got our essentials, and then stock analysis has got our main window.xaml.
Yeah.
Which is the main window that we run. Yeah. So, cool. Today I want to work on custom user controls in WPF. I wanted to take essentially what's in main window, which consists of a lot of these canvases here, and also the code behind that main window. And I want to take this and I'm going to put it in its own custom control. So I want to be able to start like throwing up these controls anywhere I want, putting them anywhere I want in any kind of UI, and attaching data to them and being able to see and visualize the data. That's what I want to do, because I think that's really the next step, right? If we're going to create something that generates test cases automatically, we need a data picker, essentially. We need a way to show data and select it. So that's kind of where I want to go with this. So with that said, let's go ahead and create a new user control. The only question I have in my head is, should the user control be here, or should it be in another solution? I'm not so sure about that. Which project should we put it in? Well, we can put it in the core. We can create a new project that just has our UI controls, or we can stick it in stock analysis. I think I'm going to put it in stock analysis for now. It's always kind of, the worst decision is always it's always generally a safe decision for a short period of time until things get really bad. It's kind of like if you're driving in a car and you turn the steering wheel just a bit to the left. Well, you've got some time to solve for that problem.
Yeah.
Do you have gum in your mouth again, my friend? I can't think while I'm looking at your gum. Thought this was a professional show, kids. I thought we did it. I thought we had it. Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you turn the steering wheel in the wrong direction, you've got a little, and you do it just a little bit, you've got some time to correct the car. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the time you have is time kind of analyzing the situation. So what we're doing is we're going to kind of turn the steering wheel in maybe the wrong direction. We're going to put it here in the main window, and we're going to see how long it takes before we realize, oh, we're about to go off the edge of the road. And when that happens, then we'll take care of it. We'll adjust the steering wheel and move the class into another file if we have to.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
In other words, we can make a safe, kind of a dangerous decision now if it's a tiny one, and we've got some time to fix the problem. And sometimes we'll do that because we want to spend most of our effort in another space, right? Like I really want to spend effort in making the control itself really, really easy to use. That's where I want to go.
Okay.
So, right-click stock analysis and choose Add New. And are we running? You're going to have to stop running, I think, to get that to work, I think. Maybe, maybe not, but yeah, it's generally a good idea. New item. And we want to do a user-controlled WPF. What are the two options here? There's a Windows Form user-controlled WPF. That's the one we want. Let's delete that and do it again. There's a place where you can fill in the name, and it's easier to fill in the name in the dialog than it is to rename it afterwards. I get a little nervous on that. So let's do it again. Go ahead, you do it. Add new item, user control. And then down at the bottom, we're going to call this tick visualizer, maybe? Tick graph? Maybe tick graph. G-R-A-P-H. Cool. I like that. All right, tick graph. Now we're going to start kind of copying things from one to another, kind of moving things across is what we're going to do. So we're going to definitely break the application. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We're going to break it, and then we'll have to fix it. So the first step in breaking is I'm going to go to the XAML over here, and I'm going to start grabbing the pieces that we need for this. So this hints layer, I think it's a separate control. Is it or is it not? So my question is, I'm asking myself, Campbell, is this going to be our control? I think it is. Now that I think about it, it is. I'm going to have selection. Analysis may not be. I might keep analysis out of here for now. I'm not sure if analysis is part of it or not, but I'm going to take these pieces. Cool with that?
Yeah.
So I'm taking, what am I taking? Do you remember what these do?
The main canvas is just where we put the stock data points, I believe, right?
Right.
And then the adornments is where we put the circle that goes around the closest dot to you, and the little menu that says trade price and time of the dot and everything like that.
Yeah. It's not, I don't think it's a menu. It's not something we can choose from, but it's a little hint,
but
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the dash line is there too in adornments. And selection.
And selection, it's just a canvas that shows what we've selected.
Right, whereas the selection, that's all important, I think, because we want to be able to select and we want to see. And then the hints is the stuff that shows this guy as we move around. Analysis is what draws the other charts, right? And overlays them essentially. And I'm just not sure if those are going to be in this control or be in another control that'll sit on top of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's cut that to the clipboard. So that's gone. We've now started breaking our app. Come over here and we will paste that in. By the way, what were those in over here? Those were inside a stack panel. It was vertically oriented. So I probably want to do the same thing over here. Change that to a stack panel. Let me scroll up a bit so you can see that above Campbell's head there. Okay, and paste that in. Okay,
Yeah.
there it is. So it looks bigger because we had these pieces were collapsed. I'm just gonna maybe do that, or maybe get the view boxes and collapse the view boxes at least. Remember those view boxes? The view boxes were those are the those are the hints. I created those hints in PowerPoint and then copied them.
Yeah.
And then move them across. We've got this grid. The grid lays out where the details are on that pop-up hint. And that's apparently it. Okay, now I can't see it, and I'm not sure why. In part, I think the problem might be to do with the design height and width here. So we'll say 700 for this, and we'll say 1900 for this, like that. Still can't see it. I'm not sure why. But there's also no errors. So I'm wondering, okay, maybe it's all going to kind of work. Interesting. Yeah, my expectation is that I would be able to see it right now in this editor. And I'm not sure why I don't see it. Next, I want to add a reference to the tick graph inside of here. So this is the class name. It's in a namespace called stock analysis, and it's tick graph. That's what you typed in when you built it, when you created this.
Yeah.
I'm going to copy this to the clipboard, and then I'm going to come over into here, and I'm going to do this and paste it. And I think there's a shot this will work. It says type was not found. Let's try building. Got an error. So a lot of errors here, down below, and the errors may actually be blocking this as well. The other thing that it's occurred to me that I need to do, hey Surly Devs out there, is I need to create a namespace in terms of where this is. Well, it actually has already been created. It's in local. Hey Surly! Surly Dev! He's in the house! So I think this is how I do it. Oh, it's just tick graph is all I need. Just tick graph. Okay, cool. Now I've got a tick graph. Some error here though, probably because this hasn't fully built yet. And it hasn't built yet because of all the errors that, you know, we've got code in this main Windows code behind. It's trying to access CBS main and it's not there anymore. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So what I want to do instead is I want to go in to this guy right here, and this guy's on the form. See this right here? That's our new user control. So I'm going to type in XN here. It's a CodeRush template, and I'm going to call this, let's call this tick graph, I guess, like that. Okay. Now that I've given that a name. Everywhere I see an error in here, I'm going to use that name and kind of redirect into it. So here I'm going to, instead of calling the canvas children clear, I'm going to call tickgraph.clear. Then I'm going to cut this line of code to the clipboard. Then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say declare method. And now I'm going to paste that line of code in. You follow that?
Yeah.
That makes sense what I just did? Okay, so I want you to go through just kind of pages. You can see the errors on the right over here, the right side of the screen. Go to these errors. See the red dot right there? Go down there, find the error, and let's talk about fixing it. How would you fix it?
Okay, so
Go down to you're not getting IntelliSense because you've got CVS main right next to it.
I'm aware.
So if you want IntelliSense, you need to kind of hit enter or something to get to it. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to call. Hold on, let me help you with this a second. Do you know what you're going to do here? What this changes? What method you're going to call? You need to do something here, and then whatever you do there, you've got to kind of have that inside. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. What are you going to do there in place of that? What method? What are you going to call? What are you going to call that method?
Oh, oops.
Okay. Then you need to paste that line of code in from the other one. It tells you that dot, it doesn't know what dot is. Well, how do we fix that?
Right.
How do we get dot passed into this method? Nope, don't do that. That's gonna, so this is actually good. Let's stop a second here. So it's like, this is a really good thing to think about. The intuition seems to be, let's create a field variable for dot. Then let's set dot outside.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do it. Let's do it. Do you know what type dot is?
I do not know.
Okay, so let's go back. Let's kind of undo that a second. Let's go back to where we were over here. Here we can see what dot is.
It's an ellipse.
Okay, so now we know the type. So let's go ahead and do it the way your intuition says. Now, if you don't mind, I'll do it so we can go there a little. We'll go there quickly, okay? So you want to do that, and now add dot works. So what that means in the call to add children, we need to go in and say, hey, tile graph dot dot is equal to dot. And this looks like we need to make that public. Okay? Are you following me? Are you following this? Okay. That's one, and then this goes away. That is equivalent code. Okay? Here's the thing that is why we don't want to do this. This dot right here is now public. Okay? And if I'm on a processor, if I'm running this on a machine that's got multiple cores, all computers working, they could all come in here and be modifying this at different times. Which means we could set this here and get down and get ready to execute this, but before we do that, another thread that's already running, that just finished running this line of code, comes down to this one and now changes that dot. Okay? Also, it's an extra line of code. This is the whole reason why parameters are super valuable. Instead of doing this, and instead of putting this high-risk thing out here and making it public, we get rid of that. We get rid of that line of code, and we just pass dot in. I can choose add parameter, and we'll call dot right here like this, right? And then CodeRush will get that it's an ellipse, and now we're totally protected. If two different cores are trying to call this at the same time, it doesn't matter because this is going to be whatever the core was that sent it in when that same core executes this line of code.
Yeah.
You're safe and protected. Parameters are your friend. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Parameters are your friend. Okay, so there's add children. Also, if I may suggest, notice that here we're just calling this clear without adding the word children. Children is a concept of the canvas, but the tick graph really only has dots. So what we could call this instead is add dot, for example. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, there's add dot. Okay, let's keep going down and let's do it again. See what the next one is. Let's see if we can do this. All right.
Again, it's a similar thing. What? Oh, oops. Got one important thing.
And you can, do you want to pass any parameters into this, or do you want to add that later? You can,
I'll do it later.
Okay. Good. And then you just got to get line, pass line into it. Good. You fixed that one. Good job. And we might want to change it from insert to add line or something like that, I suppose. I think you might think about that, decide what you want to do on that. This one, let's skip this one, go down to the next one. I want to focus on just ones that are similar right here. Like this one right here. This one is added, this one is on the adornments page. So here we want to call like a method maybe called add adornment.
Yeah.
Good. Might want to put a semicolon at the end of that line. I'm just okay. Scroll that up a little bit so we can see it.
No. Oh, right.
Nice. Good, that one's done. This one's interesting.
Could that
You
not
could
work?
do that. It's letting you do that. I said let's let it do that for now. These are all, now hold on.
Wait, they're all the same, so we could just use rectangular selection. Or they're not all the same, but
I see what you're suggesting.
believe
Yeah,
it's
you
the
could
same.
do that. But what I think I want to do, I want to try doing, is I want to take this whole show hint data and I want to cut it to clipboard. I want to go over to tick graph and I want to paste it in like that. And now notice everything starts to work here except for just a couple things. Stock data point, we can fix that by hitting Control Dot and then using bottrader.core. I mean bottrader core,
yeah.
right? Get num is actually something that we probably should be in another place. If we're using it there and here. Where's getNum? It's right here. I want to throw this down in the core. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw this down in the core, and I'm going to put it, I think we got extension methods in the core. Yeah, my extensions. I'm going to make it an extension method, so I'm changing it up a little bit. To make it an extension method, it has to be public, and there's got to be a keyword I've got to put in front of the first parameter. Do you remember what that keyword is to make it an extension method?
I don't know.
Take a look at line 18.
Save?
No,
Or
that's the
static?
name.
Or, no.
That's the name of the method. This is the first parameter. It's called points. That's its type. That's the keyword. I need the word this. And if I do that, then I can now take any decimal value anywhere. So if I come in here and I just create a new decimal like this, var name, I can now take var name and go in and call getNum on it, like this. See? It's an extension method. I can call it on it now. Well, I want to rename this because I don't like getNum right now as it is, but you remember what this method did? You know what it does? Remember?
No, I don't.
Let's put a comment up here. Gets a string version of a number with comma or with comma separated or with thousand separator with a thousands separator decimal point. And I'm not actually saying the word comma here because it could be different in another culture.
Yeah.
So with a thousand separator decimal point and no trailing zeros. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, no trailing zeros.
And I could also, so this allows me to just document what getNum does. And so what's cool about that documentation I just added is if I were to come back in here and do var name again and then come in and say var name dot and say getNum, if I hold it there for a second, look at what it does. It gets a string version of a number with thousand separator, decimal point, and no trailing zeros. So if I ever ask you, do you remember what a method does? If we don't have one of these, you'd be like, well, Dad, if you had been, really running quality control like you're supposed to, you would have ensured that I had an XML doc comment in front of the method so I could understand and remember. I wouldn't have to remember what everything does. And I'll be like, gee, son, don't fire me. And you're like, it's close, mister. It's close.
Yeah.
Something like that. So that's what's cool about it. Now, these here, we haven't documented the parameters, but I could say here, whatever, the number to convert. Maybe call it the decimal to convert. Right? Here, this one's actually super important. The number of decimal points in the conversion, to keep in the conversion.
Because we have no trailing zeros.
Default keeps all the points. Default is optional. It's an optional parameter. Right? Do you see what the default value is?
Yeah. It's just all of them.
Is all digits, which is in this, which is 29. Okay.
So we don't even need to. Oh wait.
We don't even need what?
Never mind.
Okay. And returns, I don't really need to fill out returns. So usually I'll just do this. Sometimes if it's important, I'll do that. And now watch what happens here. So I go in here and I do getNum, right? And I say, okay, open paren. Now, look, see, int num digits is 29.
Yeah.
Gets a string version of a number with 1,000 separate. Well, it's supposed to tell me about the parameter. Do I have to type something in? It's not really showing me the parameter hint. That's interesting. I wonder if it's because it's an extension method it's not doing it. Normally you would see that, but we don't see it there. At any rate, there's our getNum. It's now an extension method, which means everywhere we've got a getNum, let's go find that. I'm going to search for a getNum. Nothing here? Okay, it looks like they moved all over into tick graph. Okay, there they are right there. Let's go find them. Okay, so now instead of calling it like this,
oh yeah,
we're going to get the last trade price and do a dot getNum on it like that. Oops, that does go there. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So there
You have the
is
wrong bracket.
getting them. Now wait, what's going on here? Why
Wrong
can't-
bracket.
Oh, wrong bracket. I see it. Thanks so much. All right, cool. And that's it. So we're gonna do the same thing there and there and there and get rid of. Looks like I think I have an extra paren at the end here. I forgot to take away one of the parens. There and there. Okay, there's my getting them fix. On left side. That sounds like a method that we could probably bring here. Who's calling it? Nobody calls it from here, so might as well take it. Nobody needs it there, it's only needed down here. Okay, and now we got one error in here, is that right? I see a red dot right there. Chart translator. On left side needs a chart translator. Let's go look at chart translator. Chart translator is a field variable of main window. Right? See it there? There's the class. Right there on its own line,
Yeah.
it's declared. It's a field variable. We need it to add stock to positions. We are using it in draw graph, in draw analysis charts, add adornments. Okay, so we definitely need it down below, but we kind of need it up above too. We need it, I think, in two places. So the best solution to this is to share it. This is the main window's what? You recognize this. It has no return value and its name is the same as the class name. Do you remember what this is called?
No.
This is called I'll give you a letter at a time.
Constant. Oh, constructor.
Good job. Nice. This is called a constructor. It initializes the class. Whatever class you're in. You can tell it's a constructor because it has no return type.
Oh.
Same name as the class. Okay? That's a constructor right there. That means in here, this is a good place to go in and say something like, hey, tick graph dot set, what is that thing called? I forget what that thing is called, the chart translator. So we're going to say set chart translator. And we're going to pass in our chart translator, which should be already created. Yeah, this will be executed before. Okay? Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Declare that method for me. Good. Delete that. Put the caret up on chart translator right up here. Hit the code rush key. Put it up on the parameter right there. Yeah. Hit the code rush key. Choose declare field with initializer. Good. And then hit enter right there. Can't tell. Did you do it? Yeah, it looks like you did it.
I did.
And so now the line of code the code rush added is this chart translator is equal to chart translator. Now what we've done is shared the field. We have two fields with the same name in two different classes.
Yeah.
And two fields, same name, two different classes. So now, if we copy any code across, it needs a field called chart translator. We'll have already initialized it. Because, and I don't really go into this, but it's kind of like having a birthday party and sending invitations out to everybody. You send invitations out, and you send an invitation to me, and I open it up, and it's got your address, 123 Main Street. And you send it out to somebody else, and it also has an address there, 123 Main Street. Neither of us have copies of your house. Both of us have the ability, though, to get to your house and then, invoke methods on the party, like eat some cake.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? We can both eat cake and we both have essentially a pointer to your house. The pointer's in the form of that address. And when we share references like this, we're not making copies. So what that means is, if I make any changes to Chart Translator here, we will see those in the other location as well. And if we make any changes to Chart Translator in the other one, like we add data points to it, we'll see them over here. It's like a birthday card invitation.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what's going on here. Okay. So we've done that. Where are our next stars? Go ahead and go down through here. What's this one look like? You go ahead and do it. That one we'll do later. Okay.
There any more? Yeah, okay.
Show hint data, I think we moved down. Isn't it in there? It's there, it's just not public. We'll make it public like that. All right, cool. Show hint data is now fixed. Without getting rid of this line, show me, write the line of code above that's going to replace it.
Can I get rid of it now?
Not yet. Right now you've created a method called clear inside here that's going to go inside this. You're not calling it on tick graph.
Yeah, but that's what I'm... Oh. Right.
Just hit escape. There you go. Good job. Good job. Good job. Now, I think we have a method called clear already. If you hit tab key right now, you'll jump into it and you can take a look at it. It calls CVS main children clear.
Oh, so we want to do adornments. Clear adornments.
Yeah. Now, you can copy it really quickly if you don't want to type all that in. That's all right. We'll talk about that later. All right, clear adornments. Good. Now you can delete the line of code or cut the line of code below and declare the line and declare the method above. Good, 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 good. That's how you do it. And then escape to get back. Good. Keep going down. That's how you do it, Campbell. Good job. This is going to be add adornments inside of there. I don't remember if we have this yet or not.
We probably... I don't know.
Well, let's try it. Let's see what we got. Type in tick graph dot and see if it gives you an add adornments. Ah, add adornment. Okay. Take it. Uh-oh. Windows Code, Campbell, you're going to need some of this a little later. How you doing, Coding Gorilla? Coding Gorilla says there's also VS refactoring for extract method, I think. Yep, there is. All right, but we are not doing that yet. Add adornment. Needs an ellipse.
It takes an ellipse.
And what do we have?
We have a tiny text block.
Which is a text block. Okay, give me a second. We're going to go find a common ancestor here. I'm going to jump into this by hitting F12. This descends from framework element. Okay, cool. Let's go into ellipse, which I think I have a reference over here somewhere. I can type it in the code too. Here it is. Here's ellipse. Let's go hit F12 there. That's good distance from shape, hit F12 there. Framework element, common ancestors framework element. So what I'm going to do in over here is when I say, maybe instead of saying add dot, well, here. Instead for add adornment, instead of being of type ellipse, I'm going to make it framework element. And then we'll rename this to just element. So it all makes sense. Okay? Do the same thing. We can do the same thing in a lot of places here. Up here where it says insert, you can come in here and replace this with that. Rename this to just element. Like that. And this add dot. I'm a little curious. I'm just going to call it add. And I'm going to come in here and do the same thing. Framework element, rename to element. Like that. Okay?
You could call it add element.
You're right, I could. Add element, insert element. I could go change to both of those as well. Go ahead, let's do it. Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. So watch this. I hold down the Alt key and left and right arrows. See that? Then the Shift, and I can select just the word element and copy it. Copy, Control left, paste, enter. I want you to do that here. Invoke a rename on insert, then copy element, only element using the Alt. So go copy using Alt left and right arrow, and now Shift with the Alt and left and right arrow. Copy it, good job. Now come back. Oh, I think maybe hit enter on it. Hit rename again. No, you don't have the highlighting around it, so you're only changing it here, not everywhere. Hit undo and then hit rename. There you go. Now you got it. Oh, you want to paste it after the word insert. Hit undo. You can hit undo right now, and then with the caret to the right, there you go. Perfect. Okay, cool. And then you hit enter because you're done.
Yeah.
So now we've got add element and insert element. We've got add adornment, and they're all taking framework elements. So now, where were we? Oh, sorry, wrong place. Over here, I think we were down there. Yeah. So now we have add adornment, and add adornment now takes a framework element, which means we can give it that. So now, I want to check and see what's inside here, see if it looks like that. Add adornment, yep, children.add. CVS adornments, children.add. CVS adornments, children.add. Delete that. Okay? Now, here we've got a create line that's working with both of these. Now I'm starting to think, oh, you know what? Why not take add dash line and make it part of the tick graph? Make sense to you?
Yeah.
So cut that to the clipboard, come over to the tick graph, and we'll paste it in. Like that. Okay. Now here, it doesn't know what tick graph is because there's no form where there's a control called tick graph, right? Main window, see this? It's got a thing called tick graph dropped on it.
Okay.
This one does not. This is our actual tick graph. It's only got, CVS main, CVS adornments, CVS selection, CVS hints. So we don't need this. We don't need to do this. We just do that now because add adornment's already here in the class. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got measure string, create line. Well, I would guess that, hey, create line, we probably need that more down here than we need it anywhere else. Let's see what create line is. Create line is right there. We're using it here in two places, in add line and in chart points. Chart points also seems to be something that would be a good thing to be in the tick graph, right? Chart points isn't something we're going to need to know or care about very much here. Yeah, for sure. This should be. Oh, and this is although this is chart points is used for the analysis charts. So at this point, I'm going to take this, see this analysis, I'm going to move it down into tick graph. So tick graph's going to be super multi-purpose for now. And if we want to move it out later, we can. Okay?
Yeah.
Hold on though. Is that in the right spot? It's in a grid. The others were not in a grid. I'm not sure why this is different here. Did I copy that wrong? That's just the way it was, it appears. Okay, interesting. Okay, back over to the errors. Continuing to go through this here. Oh, we were looking at create line. Let's go back over. So I was suggesting that create line moves across. Add line moves across. And there's one other piece that uses create line, which is chart points. That moves across. I'm going to put these all together like that. So those three I'm going to grab. And we'll put them over here. Any new problems with those? Those are interesting. Those seem to all be okay here. Chart points is there. Here we go. Get fill color tick graph. What do we do here? What do we do about this problem?
I'm not sure. Oh, wait, we can just get rid of it.
Right.
Because it's already in.
Yep, insert element's already here. Okay, good. So we have measure string and get fill color. Get fill color, definitely something we need down inside of there. So, and you know what, add dot. Looks like it feels like it can move down as well. So I'm going to grab get fill color and add dot. Okay, like that. And we put those in here. Got this int dot radius. There we go. I bet these are not used so much here. Yeah, only here and here now. So these we definitely want to bring those across too. What's really cool about the work we're doing is that the main window is now becoming simpler.
Yeah.
And we're moving things where they should be. Okay, these two, get X and get Y, they need dot radius. Let's get them out of there. Put them down here. Right, these are kind of low level placing dot kind of code, right? So it should be down here in this low level class. We'll come back to this. Draw a graph. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down to the tick graph and I'm going to call draw graph. And then I'm going to take this, cut it, go down into tick graph and paste it. And make it public. Like that. How do we fix this? Good. Got three methods here. Add adornments, update selection, draw analysis charts. We need to move them all across. Also, this last mouse position, super interesting. Right, we're gonna have to figure that out too. Let's go after add adornments first. I think we need to take both of these. Take them both. So we got add adornments, last mouse position. Not too sure about what's going on there. We need to take a look at that. Let's go look at that last mouse position. It's declared here, not used anywhere else. That's the best news in the world. That's easy fix. We just bring it over here. That means we definitely just move it down. Right, for each one of these, Campbell, I'm making a decision, right? Is it used here? Where does it belong? Right? Does it belong in a control that can do graphing, or does it belong in a window? Surly Deb says, it's the weekend, it's the weekend, it's the weekend. Do I sound excited? Coding Gorilla says, still got 12 hours. Coding Gorilla's got 12 hours. It's the weekend for Surly Deb. I'm excited for you. All right, so we're just scrolling down. Oh, how do we fix that? Good, because we've already added add element here.
Yeah.
Okay, good. What else do we have? Measure string. Where's
We're
that?
gonna need to bring that over.
Hold on, there's an option here somewhere in CodeRush you have turned off. I'm starting to get a little bit like, what? Why is this option turned off? Let's try quick nav. Got anything for me? Got anything for me? I want just quick. Maybe just nav. Navigation. This one. This option should be turned on. Use the identifier under the caret as an initial filter in the jump to symbol window. That option should be
What
turned on.
does that do?
So now if I have this selected and I hit the num enter key to jump to symbol, it now suggests measure string because it's selected.
Oh.
If I select chart translator, it does that. If I select just translator, it'll suggest that. So if there's something here that I can use, I can go get it. I think even if it's not selected, it'll do it. You see what I'm saying? So I just got a very quick way to go jump to something, right? If it's like in this case, I've just copied across. So here's measure string. Let's tab to next reference. That's the best news. Nothing happens, Campbell, when I hit tab. So let me show you how to move this over. Just put the caret at the beginning on the word private or whatever the first keyword is of the method.
Yeah.
Hit the Control X or Shift Delete, your cut key, whatever you prefer to hit. Now switch over to the other file with Control Tab. Okay, and then get into a place where you can actually paste a method in, which has to be between two methods. You can't do it inside of a method. At least not for this. Nope, that's not between the two methods. That's still in the method. There you go. So your tip for looking between methods is look, after this line, that's the end of the method.
Yeah.
That's the end of this method. So you got to do it like in this space. You have to like hit enter and put it in there. Well, another way you can tell that it's a method or a member of the class is this word reference here. This tiny word will tell you how many references there are to that piece. Okay, so hit enter and paste. Okay, so now you got measure string in here. Oh, we pasted it twice.
Wait,
I'm sorry, I didn't see you had already done it. Hit undo.
Sorry, I thought that was different for a second.
Hit undo. Control Z. Control Z is fastest way out. One more. There you go. Okay, good. So we've got measure string in there now. All right, let's cool. Let's keep going down. Update selection.
Wait, there was something wrong with measure string. Yeah, culture info.
That's a control dot thing. That's just you have to use the right thing. So hit control dot on that. You have to use the right reference. There you go. Use system.globalization.
Okay.
System.globalization is really cool. That's what allows you to determine what's the comma separator, what's the thousand separator, what's the decimal point for whatever culture this app is running on, whatever machine.
Okay.
All right, so do this. Hit your num enter key. Your num enter key on the far right, and now jump to update selection. That's what that jump symbol, that option is. And now hit home so you're on the void and cut this to the clipboard. And now bring it, move it back over. And paste it in between two methods. That is not between two methods. There you go. Yeah, start looking to recognize that where the methods begin and end. Good. And not any errors there, it looks like. It looks like it's all good. So now you're down to draw analysis charts. There you go. Exactly, you get it. Good, 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 good. Look at you. Genius. Okay, good. Added dormants has got an issue on 277. How do you fix that? Control Shift left arrow. Try it on clear adornments to get from here to the beginning of the line. Also, you could use Shift Home.
I was just using Alt Shift.
Yeah, it's just more steps.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be more of those.
Okay.
Get closest ellipse. Get num enter on that. Find where that is. You had just the T selected. Get
Yeah.
either nothing selected or the whole thing selected. There you go.
I didn't mean to select.
No worries. Cool. Get nearest point is right above it. I think we want both of these. So I think we're going to select from here. Is that true? Wait. Fixing what? Yeah. Get closest ellipse. This is all business that the add highlight circle. Wait. That feels like it's also needed. Anything else? What do we got? Is close. Maybe not yet. Yeah, cool. Let's take those three. Take those out. I cut them to the clipboard. I'm going to paste them in right in there. I'll let you do it. Too late. I guess I did it. Okay, what do we got here? We've got tick graph. You can fix that, right?
Yep.
Try that Control Shift and left arrow. There you go.
One
Same
more.
thing down here.
This is just one. Okay.
Nice job. I saw you do Control Shift left arrow that time. What do we got here? Add adornments with an E on it. There must be a second.
But this is add adornments.
Yeah. Okay. Well, wait. What's my problem? Oh, we're in main window. Okay. So we can do this. Tick graph dot add adornment, and then it's private, so we can change it to public. And now that should go away. Okay? Good. Mouse down. Here's what I think I want to do for now. I want to say tick graph dot mouse down. Now I'm going to make a new method. Handle mouse down. And I'm going to pass in E to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to then cut this code. And then I'm going to declare it. And I'm going to paste it. Title. Mouse down, detect, drag, and select. We don't need this. We were using this for debug purposes. It's going to help us build it. I'm going to get rid of it. Okay? Cool. Update selection. Selection on changing. Where are we hooking that? That's there. Okay, see this hook? These are event hooks. Do you recognize that when you see that or no? That plus equals and the word
kind
on.
of.
Yeah, when you see like on and then some verb here, like on jump or on save or whatever,
It
and then you
means
see
that
plus
once
equals,
this thing happens.
it's generally an event. When you see this plus, and see, look at this icon. See that
Yeah.
right there? That means it's an event. So you can always hover over something and look at the icon. If that's an event, that means things happen, and then when those things happen, any methods that you plus equal to it, any methods you plus equal will be called. Well, we don't need this here. I'm just going to cut that. And I'm going to go down here and we'll paste those in here. So those are our event handlers. And then I'm going to take the hookup for those event handlers right here, which happen inside the main Windows constructor. And I'm going to cut those. And I'm going to put those somewhere else. I'm going to put them in a method called tickgraph.initialize that I am going to create. New method. And in the initialization there, I've just put the event hookup. And maybe even better, I'll extract that to its own method and call it hook events. So it's very clear what's happening, right? When you see this code and you see this method name, you're going to be like, okay, I remember this now. Does that make sense? And then, so we've got hook events. We might have more initialization here later. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions on that?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. Got fewer red marks in here. Okay, same thing I'm going to do here. Now look at this title, mouse up detected, selection complete. We don't need that anymore. Moving mouse, we don't need that anymore. That was all to help us understand what was happening. Right,
Yeah.
that title? Okay. Now, this, I'm going to cut it and I'm going to go into tick graph and I'm going to say handle. It's kind of like mouse down, but I'm going to call it mouse up. I'm going to pass in E to it. Declare it, paste. Okay, so I've just taken that code down there. That E we're passing in is still the same E it needs, so it needs it to call, find out the position of the mouse relative to this CVS selection canvas. Remember, get position takes as an input relative to, and see there where it says relative to, the element to use is the frame of reference for calculating the position of the mouse
Yeah,
pointer.
so that's what it looks like for the summary of the parameter.
Yes, the XML
But
doc
we weren't
comment.
seeing that before.
We did not see that for our extension method. It looks like it's a bug in Visual Studio, is what it looks like. Which, congratulations, you found a bug in Visual Studio. Right? It's hard to do because they put so much work into it. Okay, so that feels good. Looking at the bar, the sidebar over here, I'm not seeing any red.
No.
I see this pink right here. What's
Yeah,
the
I
pink?
don't know what that is.
I don't know what a pink is.
Oh.
Oh, it's a misspelled word.
Yeah, that's fine.
Adornments needs an N right in there. That's CodeRush telling you.
That
Okay.
might have been me. Sorry.
No worries. No worries. Okay, let's go back over here and look for red.
1. CVS
Update selection if needed. What's happening here? All right. Yeah, let's do this. See this right here? I'm going to move it down into add adornments, which I'm going to rename to handle mouse move, like that. And then just put this here. And we're going to get rid of this and come down over here and put it down here. Okay, no red over here on the left. Any red over here. No red over here. Can we rebuild? It worked. Let's go take a look at tick graph. Can we see it SAML? We can't. Let's run it and see if it works.
Uh-oh.
Will it work?
Hopefully.
Tick graph is null here. Because we haven't called initialize component yet. So I'm gonna get rid of this here. That's all gonna happen. Initialize component initializes everything in the XAML. So if we now execute this line of code first. What? Hold on. Let's make sure we're on this up here. And now we hover over tick graph. See, it's got something in it now. It's not null. If it was null, it would say null here. And so now we can just hit run and keep it going. Is it going to work? Okay, why are we down here? I don't like that.
Wait, try full screening it. Oh!
I think we haven't set
it's
the
part
dimensions
of
for
the
tick.
stack panel as well.
We haven't
Something.
set the dimensions for it. Tick graph. When we put it here, it's here, but we haven't come in and say like height is equal to 700, and we haven't said width is equal to 1920. Let's see what happens now. Do we have data? I can't tell. It looks like we're not getting data in. Oh no, wait, we are. Sweet. So it's working. Okay, so we just done a whole bunch of refactoring to get basically something out to its own control. The cool thing about it though is that we are, at least from the standpoint of the XAML, if we want to put a tick graph in, we just do this. If we want to get 2 tick graphs in, we just put another one in, right? And then if we look at everywhere we're using this in our main file, we're calling initialize on it, so we have to initialize it. What's going on in initialize again? It's just the hook events. You know what? We could get that in a constructor. Let's kill the app a second. Let's take this, get rid of this, and let's find our constructor for this. There it is. Do you see it? See if you can see it on this page. Which one is the constructor for tick graph? Where's the tick graph constructor? Yeah.
Right there.
That's it. It's from line 31 to 34. So we're going to hook the events there. So that saves us a line of code here. We don't need this. Then all we need to do is set its chart translator. That's important for using any tick graph. But if we wanted to get now 2 of these on the form, right, we could do that. We could say the height was 350.
Yeah.
We come down
All
here
right,
and say
all right.
tick graph 2 is there. What'd you say?
That's okay.
And then everywhere we saw a tick graph, we've got to do a tick graph 2 like that. Okay? And then now we've got the draw graph, and then we're going to say this got draw graph. Like that. So we're going to have double graphs. Is what we're going to have. Okay? Keep going anywhere else. We have to do the same thing here. And here, where we go with the 2 instead. And here for the mouse up. I'm going to address this in a second because I want to get rid of these as well. I don't want these event handlers in here. I'm trying to really simplify this. Anywhere else tick graph is used? Nowhere else. So now if we run it, we should see, the only problem is I said the outside was 350, but the inside we hard code the height to 700. But there it is. You can start to see we've got 2 tick graphs on the form, which is a little bit of code.
Yeah.
To do this without a user control would take double up of all the other code that we moved across. Does that make sense?
And then if we wanted to change one of them, we would have to go into both of them.
Yeah, it'd be a nightmare, is what it would be. And we're waiting for one more ticket data to come in to show that we've got. What's happening is no Bitcoin's not changing price, is what's happening. But our selection should work in either one. Oh, I'm not getting selection to work in either one, actually. Selection is not working for me.
Uh-oh.
That's okay, because they're getting cropped. So, because of the hard-coded size. So we need to address size so it can be have a flexible size.
Yeah.
And this is a good test for addressing that. So we need to address size. And we need to address why I can't click and drag across. Why I can't get a selection. Selection seems to be broken. Let's close it a second. I'm concerned about selection first. I want to make sure selection works. So I'm going to go back and change this to 700. So that'll be the top one. I'm going to delete tick graph 2, I think, for now. It wasn't hard to create a new one. I'm going to go find everywhere we've got a tick graph 2, and I'm going to delete that associated line. I want to make sure selection's still working, because if that's not working, that's an important one to fix. Right? Did you agree with that, sir?
Yeah.
You comfortable with me calling you sir?
No.
Sir? No? All right. Yes, sir. I won't call you sir. All right. We want selection to work. I don't know if we can test yet.
Nope.
Not happening yet?
Yeah.
Still not working?
Still not working.
What about the hints? The hints working.
Oh, no. No. Because look, here's what's happening. For some reason, this is the top of the circle, but there's no dot here. Or at least not that I know of.
Interesting.
And so it's not correctly accurate.
Let's go take a look at the code. We don't have to stop the app, but let's just take a look at the code.
Wait, no! It is getting to the closest dot, but it isn't doing it on the x-axis.
Yeah. So there's a problem with the XAML in the tick graph. Well, I think I got the wrong parent. Is what I think. Let's try this. I don't think I could reparent and still run. I think it breaks it. But I think that could be it. In fact, I don't think I need this outermost piece here. We're just going to have a grid. And then everything in there is going to be inside the grid. Notice we've got this hard-coded canvas sizes all up and down here. We're going to need to fix that. When I say hard-coded, I mean this says it's 700. Same thing here.
Yeah.
If I want to change it, it's fighting with all of these. So before we added a stack panel, which those were stacked up, now we have them overlaying on top of each other inside of a grid. So grid allows me to put things wherever I want. It gives me also positioning abilities, but if I don't specify position, it'll be in the top left cell of the grid.
Yeah.
And if I don't specify any column or row definitions, it's just a 1-by-1 grid. Right? But a grid's kind of good, useful, multi-purpose tool. I bet this will fix it. Oh, look at what's going on now. We can actually see things. See that? So that's also good news. What's this guy though? Oh, look, I got a margin here. See that margin?
Yeah.
That's for our analysis data. Oh, but did we want that? We did kind of want it because we wanted to drop it down below. We wanted to have it we wanted to show it lower then so we could have some distance. I'll keep it for now. Okay, let's rebuild and run. See if that now fixes it. Give me a run, and then after that we're going to go after, I think, our mouse event handlers if we can. And then we'll go down with it. So this looks better already.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh,
and
right.
try your
And this
selection.
wasn't working before. Yep. Selection works.
Okay, good. So that's good
Test
news.
selection works. And the moving average works too. Or
Yeah, at least it works like it did before. Good.
Yeah.
Our hints are not on top. Do you see that? The moving average drew over the hint for a little bit. I don't know if you noticed that or not. You can't see it now, but
I
that
did not see
moving,
that.
I think the hint should be absolutely on top. To make
Well, yeah, it's the most important piece of information.
Yeah, so the hint, to get the hint on top, it needs to come after this guy. So we're going to move this up here. That's just, whenever I move a control like this, change its stack order, that breaks it. So we're not going to see drawing on it. So we're going to need to restart to see that. But I don't think we need to restart because
We know it will work.
it's very likely that that's going to work. Next, I want to get into, so let's actually take a look at main window and see what it looks like now. Notice the size of this thumb right here. See how big this thumb is over here? It's that big, meaning that any view we're looking at, we're seeing that percentage of the whole file. That's what we're seeing, right? So what that means is that's showing like about what? At about 18%, 15, 16, 18%.
Yeah, that
Right?
seems right.
Of the whole file. Before, let's look at tick graph, see what it looks like over there. It's a very big file. See, it's smaller, the thumb size is smaller?
Yeah.
That means you're looking at only 5% of the file, which means this file is big.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
still looking at the same amount of the file, but there's more file than the other
Yes,
one.
exactly. The cool thing here is because I've got a big fat thumb over here, that means we've successfully simplified this code. This thumb used to be much smaller.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's look at what's left here, right? What's going on? We do have this, and we've got to do that says don't hard code this. Okay, so we've got that deal. That guy right there is somebody we need to deal with. We have some code that subscribes to the ticker symbol. Cool. You were asking about Ethereum yesterday in your stock class, right?
Yeah. I think I.
Let me show you something. See, I've got the
can
word
just change it.
BTC here,
Yeah.
and BTC there, and BTC there. Do I have any refactorings here? I've got an introduce format. Cool, I guess we can do that. Although what I really want to do is make it in a triplet string because they're so much faster to use. And I want to take this BTC here, and I want to put that wrong here. Use local? No, that's not what I wanted. Hold on, let me undo this a second. I'm just going to add the word symbol here. Like this. I'm going to come up here, create that variable. I'm going to set it equal to BTC. And everywhere I have BTC, I'm going to replace it with symbol, but then I'm going to put it inside of these brackets right here. I'm just using the interpolated string. Do you have a sense of why I'm doing this?
So that we can change it.
Change it. So now instead of changing it in 3 places, I only have to change it in 1.
Yeah.
You want to change it from BTC to Ethereum? I think it's just ETH. Like that. Let's run it.
Yeah.
Cool. Completely different price.
Oh yeah, very different price.
Right?
It's 1/32 of the price. It's approximately. Second.
Cool?
Yeah.
Alright. Let's go after the mouse move. Because here's the thing. We're looking at mouse moves here. We've got these, in the main window, we've got all these mouse window previews, and we're just passing them down to tick graph. Right? So we've got this one that takes it down. Right? We've got this one and this one. We've got these 3. See those 3?
Yeah.
I am going to copy those. Well, no, I'm not. I'm gonna comment them out. Okay? Because I want to see if we can get the same thing working down below. Okay? All without, when I say down below, I'm talking about this tick graph here. So now what I want to do is here say preview mouse move. I need mouse down. Copy that to clipboard because I'll need it a couple times. And I'm going to do paste it in and then control space. And then I want mouse up, or mouse move. It's a new event handler. And then we'll paste that in and get mouse up. Okay, new event handler. And then in each one of these, I'm just going to type in the word handle. And I'm going to choose the right one. So this is handle mouse up, and it just needs to have the E. Can you get the other 2?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, right.
You can put that did you remember that? You hit the semicolon
That's
without
what I
being
was
at the end of the line.
Or that's what I was remembering.
Yeah, no, it's great. Great feature. Let's save it and try and run. So now we commented out the handle, the parts that call down here. And so, looks like it's not working. Oh no, maybe it is working. It's not, or it is?
It is not. Oh.
It is if you've got it over a control.
Oh, yeah, that's
Is that true?
I think so.
Yeah, if you move over a control, it's got it.
As soon as I can't move
Yeah.
it anymore.
Hold on, let's see if we can figure this out. I think there is a property. Is hit test visible? set that to true. Let's see if that makes any difference. No difference. Interesting. I want to try restarting just to make sure that that may not be something that XAML hot reload can handle. Try again. Anything happening? Any movement?
No, still
problem. Okay. Next, here's another workaround for it. This is a little bit of a cheap workaround, but I think it's going to solve our problem. We need to get these mouse window hits. You need to get them. So what I'm going to do is, I think on my backmost canvas, I'm going to create a new rectangle. And I'm going to set the width, and I'm still hard coding this, I know. 1900. I'm going to set the height to 700. And is that enough? I've given it no fill. Let's try that. I think it may not be enough. I think I'm going to have to give it a little bit of a fill. Nothing's happening. Okay, that guy's not moving when I'm over here. Okay, no worries. Let's give it a fill. So we're gonna say.
Still running.
Oh, can you stop it? I thought I clicked that.
Yeah, you did, and then it wasn't responding, and then it.
Are we locked? Let's try
Still
this.
Running.
Debug, break all. Where are we? We're in unsubscribe all. Interesting. This is a function that's given to us by the service provider. Let me set a breakpoint here and hit run. We are not exiting this call. We are locked up there in unsubscribe all. Interesting. I'm going to go ahead and just stop debugging, just to hard code it. To stop it. Basically, the problem is inside somebody else's code. So, interesting. Sorry, Kimball, I don't remember what I was doing. Oh, it's something to do with the mouse moves. Oh, right. Here. Let's set the fill to white. Okay. It occurs to me, hold on a second. Maybe not here. Let's set the fill to white here. No? What is it, background? The property? Background is equal to white. Nothing to do with it, is it? Because it's still the window. I really don't want to do this, what I feel like I'm about to do. The problem with CVS main putting this rectangle here, this rectangle is going to be removed as soon as we start adding data points. So in order to trick it, what I have to do is I have to come in and say canvas, create one more canvas here, and in that canvas put my rectangle. And that should trick it and make it work.
Look what I'm bringing you.
You're bringing bacon? That's awesome. Oh, it's warm.
For your,
I can smell
right
it
after
through the
the show,
plastic.
this is his afternoon snack. Campbell Franklin has a class at noon, just so that you know.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get out
And
of
I
here.
also want to make a bit of lunch, so.
Okay.
And he's a hungry guy.
Well, let's get out of here soon.
Yes. No. I think in 15
Did that work,
minutes I
Campbell,
can
or
do
no?
it. Let's see. Yeah, it appears
That worked.
to have worked.
So kind of dumb that we had to do that. There's probably a faster, easier way, but okay. So let's clean up a little bit on this. So now that we've done that, now what's really cool about it, let's go back over to...
I think something is wrong, actually. Can I?
Go ahead.
So, remember how when we would select it, and I'm still holding down, if it were to do that, then... Oh, wait, no, that wasn't a feature of the code before. Never mind, sorry.
So, can I try it a second? So you're saying it's advancing to the left or something?
It shouldn't. It should be, but I thought it should be, but that wasn't
So
what was
right
happening
here,
before.
this is interesting. I think it should extend to the mouse here. I'm not moving the mouse.
Yes, it should, but if you update it,
Yeah, if I just move the mouse, it'll do it. But I do agree with you. that if we get new points in, we should update the selection. I think that's an easy fix, actually. How are we getting those in here? Where's our subscription code? Here it is, update last price. Update last price goes here. Dispatcher invoke, after we call this, there's some sort of, I think probably tick graph dot, is there an update selection? Doesn't look like it. Thought we had something like that. We do, but it's private. We can't change it while it's running, but so we'll have to restart. Oh, wait, hold on. We are calling draw graph. Why not just do it from there? Hold on, let's fix that. Let's undo this, like that. And inside draw graph, we'll call update selection. Oh, it is there. The last mouse position, though, is not being recorded. No, wait, it is. Update selection, hold on, what's going on in there? Oh. We need, like, as if we got a mouse move. Handle mouse move. The mouse isn't moving, but it's as if what's behind is moving relative to the mouse, right?
Yeah.
So we need to get the mouse position. Update selection if needed. I think we need these 2 lines of code. That's what I think we need. We need last mouse position. I'm hoping this is still relative to the same piece here. Let's do that. And then I think this is going to maybe work. So we're going to say add adornments, last mouse position. Then we're going to update the cursor. So right now the cursor is at 11:31:09. Last mouse position X is at 9:27. So let's see if this time changes from 11:31:09 after I hit F10 on it. It did not. Get time for X. Did N get updated yet? When are we updating N? So we call calculate bounds. We call calculate bounds when we get a new stock position coming in. I think this is going to work. I'm just going to hit run on this. And let's keep going. Like that. All right, so I'm going to hold the mouse like right here. And I got my hands off the mouse. Yeah, it looks like it fixed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whenever a new point comes in, even if you're not holding the mouse down.
Not bad. That's close. This is basically, I think we only want to do this if the mouse is down. Like this. Or whatever selection is active. This isn't really code I'm typing in, I'm just kind of, putting a note to myself here. Okay, that'll be better. That's the old way. So it's not bad. We got a small bug in there, but not bad. Back over to XAML over here. I want to get rid of our, so it's close. Not even using that anymore. That was, I think, used before to find if a hint was close to a particular point. We're not using that code. All right, so let's stop the app a second. Let's clean this up. I'm getting rid of his close. Actually, before I get rid of it, one other thing. This might have been commented out somewhere. So I'm just going to do a search through all the files to see if it shows up anywhere else. And it doesn't. So it only shows up in one place. So it only shows up here. I'm just going to delete it. I've got it in version control if I really have to go back if I ever need it again.
Yeah.
I'm going to next take these preview pieces that we had in here and get rid of those. All those preview mouse down, mouse up, mouse move, we don't need those anymore because now this control handles its own mouse up, mouse down, mouse move. Okay, so that means we can get rid of these 3 pieces of code here. And cool. And now take a look at main window. Look at how big the thumb is getting, right? We've got a bunch of stuff here. By the way, there's a code refactoring where we can optimize the namespace references, get rid of all the ones we're not using. Okay, so now it's getting even simpler, right?
It's nearly 1/3 of it, so.
It's what?
It's nearly 1/3.
Yeah,
The screen.
yeah.
Nearly, not quite.
Here we go. There's the constructor. No return type, same name as the class. Remember that right there. We're setting our symbol as Ethereum, so we've got the ability to specify a particular symbol we want to look at. We can add also next time, the ability to list all the symbols available and go find one. We've got update last price. That makes sense to be here. We've got window closing where we unsubscribe from the socket so we don't listen to any more messages. And we've got this kind of temporary test selection click piece. Once we get rid of this, it'll be even simpler, right? That's the value of the user control. And now I can use that same user control all over the place I need to have show the tick data. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Questions on that?
No.
All right, let's check in the code. Let's get you out of here so you can get out early, get some food, and get you on next class.
Okay.
Okay, buddy?
Yeah.
All right. Kimball's going to work on that. I'm going to get a raid going. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. We're going to be back tomorrow. Kevin and I will be back tomorrow. What are we working on tomorrow with this? Maybe test case generator?
Yeah.
Something to be able to, because we really need to start analyzing the data. If we're going to make buy or sell decisions, we need to really understand and analyze the data. So I think we're going to go head in that direction. Custom user control. Yeah.
And we also
Excuse me.
changed the mouse handlers.
Yeah, moved the mouse handlers, did everything, moved all of that down below into tick graph. Okay, so tomorrow we've got to work on also the hard-coded aspect of it.
Yeah.
We want to make it so that thing, looks good no matter where we are, what size it is. All right, I'm going to start the raid. Send you over to Ed Charbonneau. Thanks really for hanging out with us. Coding Gorilla, good to see you, kids.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.